want them to get in line so they can break away from the rest of the field. But the point is that Strait has not had a lot of time drafting with very fast and more talented drivers. That's something they worked on in happy hour here, something they've worked on throughout the week, and something they were concerned about here in the early stages of the race. So far for Bob, it's worked out fairly well. Now he's got to see if he can rope in those front three cars.
Take a look at the Midway Island forward of Bob Strait. That is the Mark Thompson machine crash. Triumphal. The car number 19, that's Kevin Counselor, goes spinning around. Thus far, no one else has contacted him.
Also, the 33 car, Joe Knott, is involved. There we see Joe Knott, the red-white car driving away from Lima, Ohio. And there we see Kevin Counselor's 19 car. So to cause this, oh, they're on the bottom of the racetrack, right on the apron. Kurt Shumerdine in the 3 car gets in the left rear quarter of the 19 of Kevin Counselor, and there the 31 car of Randall Ritter gets into the 33 of Joe Knott. And those cars spin down through there, and Kyle, I'm amazed no more damage than that.
Still there, still there. Still there. Still there, Mike, still there.
And
Still
Joe
there.
Knott,
Cautious out.
Joe Knott is
Still there.
crashed on the backstretch.
So the second caution flag today coming out on lap number 14. Joe Knott out of the ASA ranks, spins around and has contact with the wall. Here's the battle back to the stripe among the lead cars.
And
Get him back.
I'm not sure he's...
I'll race to the caution, Mike. But I was in front. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, what is the rule about racing back?
He's back to the line.
Yeah, that is the ARCA rule. Until the final 10 laps of the race, that's when you are allowed to protect your position. But besides that, they do not race back to the line. Here's the 33 car, Benny, just looping it around.
Yeah, and the left rear tire is flat. And I don't know that there's enough damage there to cause that tire to go flat. I would guess that's what caused the spin. That something, he cut the tire down and it went flat as he came off the second corner, and around he goes.
But he learned a valuable lesson today, and he'll be a better driver because of it.
Riding along with C.W. Smith, Skip Smith, and a lead.
Oh, when you see Tim Steele hard in that outside retaining wall.
Heavy impact. Steele's car leading, goes backwards, up across the racetrack. Cars trying to avoid him. There's Mark Gibson is in the wall. And Steele could not keep his car from coming back down across the 33-degree banks. And here's Gibson coming down across the track, and they will miss him. And there is Matt Hutter in the Ed Rencione Duraloop Chevrolet. His car also collected. So 2 of the top 4 cars. There is the leader, Tim Steele, who was the leader.
And the right there, it looks like Giacchetti. Yes, he is. The Giacchetti just touches the back of the 16. Gets in the back of him, and up the hill he goes, and right there, those 2 cars meet head-on.
I think this is a left front tire off of the 16 car that's rolling down through the infield. But Tim still had a hard impact. He got spun around. One thing that could have cushioned him a little bit and maybe kept him off the wall just a touch was the 83 car. I think he was fortunate that the 83 car, and then you see Gibson come through, and Steele's coming back down the racetrack, got no brakes on the car because the tires ripped off.
Following Bill Baird, you see what kind of speed that he's running down the backstretch? About 4 or 5 miles per hour slower than Bob Strait. When he drives it down the corner, we see up to 196. We saw Bob Strait up to 194 a couple of times.
You see the difference in RPMs too. You see 6,700 RPMs coming up out of the corner with those guys at 187, 188. Well, we got a car in the wall right here.
And the car up against the outside concrete wall, bringing out caution for the 4th time today on lap 58. And the car basically ground into the concrete up there, and he's not actually up on the bank, more into the tri-oval area, so he's down in the 33-degree part of the course rather than the 18 degrees. So that is the car number 97 of Doug Reed. But in the local Alabama native, the car heavy impact.
And when this car stops, folks, it stops because it gets tired of rolling. It certainly isn't anything the driver does to make it stop.
Caution for the 4th time today.
Oh, and the 67 spins.
He loops around. Shauna Robinson back there. She was trying to avoid him as cars come down across the
Turn 3 and 4, caution, caution.
And Shauna was not able to get by. The car spun right in front of her. She was collected. as here come the leaders, Straight, Cicchetti, and company back to the line. Mike Swain trying to get his lap back, will not be able to do it as caution now is waving for the 5th time today.
Has go in the corner. It's like the 67 didn't see Harvick here. And as he gets there, if you look at the lines on the racetrack, boom, there they are. They touch. Harvick's as low as he can go. You see the car get out from under him, and as the car spins, Shauna's got no place to go. He spins right dead in front of her. She goes to the high side. He clips. She goes up. Did a really good job of her turning the car and getting back down off the racetrack. These guys, they were right in the middle of a pack right here. So everybody did a really good job to.
About Mike Cicchetti, the 17 car. Oh, we got a car, the 95 car. Looks like he's lost an engine or something down on the apron of the racetrack. I believe that is the 95 car, Kevin Ray. Yes, it is.
Would have an opportunity to let them move and pull out and have somebody on that wall coming out of turn 2 over there.
Got an incident, 0-0. Ed Kennedy, the Coppell, Texas driver in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
Car down the back trailer up against the wall, Mike. Hard to get down.
And there goes Shelmerdine.
Danny Pardis and Shelmerdine involved in an incident trying to get slowed down. They slide across the racetrack down in turn 2.
Back off a little, Bobby. Back off. You can back off some.
And we see the radiator, the fluid out of the 3 car means that he's broken the radiator on that car. Now then, who's going to be making a pit stop? Who's going to be changing tires? What about fuel? What about tires? Now we'll find out.
All right, we'll check and see what's going to change. Ed Kennedy's car contacting the wall, bringing out 0 car, Coppell, Texas driver Ed Kennedy.
Black and gold car comes off turn 2, and all of a sudden the right front tire goes flat, and bam! Hard in that outside retaining wall. Once again, we'll show you just Robert Burrows, the yellow car, goes down in turn 1. We see some smoke from the brakes when he tried to slow down. He runs in the back of Dan Pardis in the 42. Pardis spins back across the racetrack right in front of Kirk Shelmerdine. Has no place to go, and both those cars out of competition. Harvick, the Realtree Chevrolet from Richard Childress Camp. Looks like he is just barely hanging on to these front 2 cars. On the right end of the screen is Anthony Lazzaro trying to get a good finish on his first battle, but some contact, and Bill Bear, the champion, spins, slams the wall. Lazzaro head on. I think it's C.W. Smith that meets him head on.
That indeed is Skip Smith involved in the 28 car. There's Lazzaro's car number 80, the Stan Hoover machine, still sliding on the inside. More cars spinning.
And they're still crashing.
At least a half a dozen cars involved in an incident here on lap 106, and they're still sliding.
And we see Lazzaro is right down the bottom of the racetrack, and right there, they just make contact just enough that both cars spin. The Andy Hillenberg goes up, makes contact with the outside retaining wall, and there's Lazzaro just gets hit head on with the Skip Smith number 28 car.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, still working the 7th caution flag of the day. 7 cars involved in an incident up in turns 3 and 4, and because of so many cars involved and so much debris on the racetrack, we are still under caution. They have waved the white flag. This is the final lap. Here's what happened just a moment ago on lap 106.
See the contact between Bill Baird, the 52 car, Anthony Lazzaro in the 80. And watch as Lazzaro gets up in the air and gets hit head on with C.W. Smith, Skip Smith in the 28. And then about 6 or 7 other cars are involved as well. We'd see the 17 car, Mike Cicchetti, right there, gets run in the back off by Mark Stahl.
Well, the race isn't over yet, but we do have crowned the champion today, right, Bill? Bob Straight from Mokina, Illinois. Driver of the Midway Island Ford, and there's
Go on,
the
get
crew.
by him there. Run him on up there. Good job, Bob. Congratulations on your first Super Speedway win.
What a job by that crew. Joe Ryan.
Now remember, you got to stop at the in the pit road.
And the engine builder, he's reminding the driver, you got to stop at the end of pit road. They got to check that spoiler, minimum 60-degree spoiler. And how about that young man? Got to be well, he's a young man. He's just 50 years of age, BP, right?
Real young man.
He's the winner of the Winn-Dixie 300. His first, as you heard a moment ago, ever super speedway win. His 15th career victory. And we'll come back to talk to the winner of the Winn-Dixie 300 in just a moment.